Hello, my name is Kim. Welcome again to another episode of Istorya. So, on the second episode, I'll be asking you a very important question, which is related to what is happening right now. Okay, and this question is, how did coronavirus change your life? Or let me rephrase it. How is coronavirus changing your life? Okay, since the pandemic is not yet over. Okay, how's coronavirus changing your life? And on this episode, what I'll be doing is I'll be sharing my story, my experiences during this time, and it's about I was able to thrive in this situation, how was how I was able to get up. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, so to get started, um, I'm gonna go back to the end of my early career days. End of my early career. Wow, what a word. Okay. Uh, okay. First job rather. So at the end of my first job, before I resigned there, I actually took a civil service examination, and that civil service examination, of course, when you pass that, it will give you uh, eligibility to work in the government sector. So I took that many months ago. That was last year, if I remember. March. No. Yeah. Last year. That was March. Around March last year. So I took that, and then when the results came out, I actually passed. I passed the exam, and I think that the rating at the time was 80%, and I was just lucky enough to pass that. I was on that passing mark, what, 80%. So what the luck, what the luck there. I actually can't believe that I passed that exam. So months afterward, I decided to resign. I decided to resign from work as a call center agent. Okay. Customer service thing. If you remember my backstory from the previous episode, so I have explained a little background there. Okay, so that's cool. And uh, let's see. After that, where was it? Um, oh gosh, I completely forgot. But anyway, let's see if I can remember it. Okay, so I passed the exam, and I resigned from my work. Okay, that was around September, September last year. Okay, September 28th. That was the exact date. Whoa, I can still remember it. Okay, and then after I resigned, I immediately looked for a government position. So I traveled over Iloilo and Capiz, those two locations, applying, giving out resumes and all those requirements I need just to get that position, the government position. Which is actually a mistake. It was actually a mistake on my part because people have been telling me before I resign from my work, I should secure another job. Yeah, which really makes sense. But in my case, I took the risk because I think I had savings at the time. Okay, so I took it. I resigned, and I was arrogant, confident to the point that it's arrogant. Yeah, I think that's how I would perceive it, or how I would think it. So it was months and months and months later. I still couldn't find a job. Okay? No work. I was getting rejected here and there. If not rejected, I was ghosted. Yeah, I think ghosted was the right term. Okay, ghosted. So whenever I send, by the way, sorry about the dogs in the background. Okay, so whenever I send those resumes and those personal data sheet, a PDS thing, that is required by the Philippine government whenever you apply. So it will take months. It took months and months before they would actually respond. Okay. Or sometimes, or most of the time, they wouldn't respond at all, which ended very frustrating. It was very frustrating on my part. Um, I really hate it. Yeah, I really hate it. And I was worried because by around November, December, my my savings were already gone, including my back pay, which is terrible. So another mistake. So I was able to save, but it was not a lot. So at least you should save 3 to 6 months of your monthly income before you resign. So that is another tip that I can give you before you resign from your work. That's very important because you need to survive in the following months. Okay. January, February, I still didn't have a job. Applying to institutions here and there. Okay. And by the way, I have this most memorable part where now I applied as an administrator of the hospital. Okay. Administrator of the hospital. So I did a very good job. I mean, I made quite the impression, I think. Okay. So I made the initial interview. I made the exam. I passed all of their exams and initial and final. So I went about 3 times on that institution on the hospital, and yeah, it took quite a while as well. I think that was about February. Okay, COVID was already there, but it wasn't widespread yet. Okay, it wasn't widespread. So when the administrators or the interviewers were there, I made quite the impression, and I on my part did good. Okay, did a good job, but still they didn't respond, of course. I didn't think that much. I think that I thought at the time that I was already rejected because they told me actually they don't have a specific time. Sorry. They don't have a specific time as to when they would respond, but I set a time frame to myself. That's about a week, usually 1 week or 2 weeks, okay, from the date of the interview. So if they wouldn't respond, then boom, goodbye. And so one day, I received an email from them. Yeah, I received an email from them. I'll say, it wasn't. I wasn't. I wasn't accepted. Sorry, I wasn't accepted to that position. By the way, the position I was applying was an administrator, uh, admin officer, admin officer. So I wasn't accepted. And then uh, on that email, it was stated that they would offer me another job, which is project based. Okay, so it's available for a limited amount of time. But here's the best part. 5 minutes later, interesting. 5 minutes later, they sent another email. They sent another email saying that, oh, I'm sorry, we're no longer hiring. Okay, so it's retracted. What the hell? What the hell was that? It's just giving you this initial feeling, and then all of a sudden it goes down. Like, what the hell was going on? So, of course, that's another frustrating part, but I didn't give up. I didn't give up. Or actually, I was on the verge of, uh, giving up, because I have no job, nothing. All the feeling of, I can't provide to my family. I can't have my money. I don't have the lifestyle I want anymore because my savings are gone. It was very hard for me. So it took quite a toll on me emotionally. So coronavirus came. That was March. So what I did is I applied still, not in government institutions. So I had to direct my approach. What I call it, pivot. I would pivot my approach. Instead of applying to government positions, what I did is I applied online, which is a good thing because I invested on a computer set before I resigned. So that's a good work. Okay, awesome. So I applied. How many institutions? I think I applied. Yeah, too many. Until then, I decided to apply as an ESL teacher because I think my English skills are above average. Above average. And yeah, so one take, one exam, one interview, got passed. That was lucky. So I was able to teach. Okay, I was able to teach children in China. So it was difficult for me at first because it's a transition from one profession to another, from call center agent to becoming a teacher. Good thing. What's the good thing is, I had a background. My mother is a teacher, so at least I know a little bit. I know a little bit of what to do in teaching, so that gave me points. And also, I worked in a BPO company, so that's an additional points. That's why I got hired. Also, I didn't have a certificate. They need, what we call that, TEOFL. Yeah, TEOFL language. Certificate. I don't have that, but still I got passed. So lovely. That's lovely. And now, I didn't suffer there. I didn't suffer there because I realized what I'm earning for teaching is so meager, very small. The beginning of my teaching career, I had to start for about 2 hours, 2 hours a day. That's my work time. And then over time, I would increase it to 3 to 4 and so on. Right now, I'm working 6 hours a day for ESL teaching. 6 hours. That's from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. And your earnings will base on booked classes. So if you don't have a student, then you don't have money, no salary. So it's kind of a freelance work. So what I did next is I applied to, of course, since I'm working at home now, I ventured into freelancing. I went to freelancing websites. I did not do Upwork. My profile wasn't accepted there. Upwork. What else? I think that onlinejobs.ph. That's the number one website that I researched and was recommended by YouTubers that would consume content. Research first before I would jump into it. So I got there. Countless of applications. What are the positions? Okay, content writer, social media manager, tons. As long as it's related to my current skill set. And also, I would submit articles. I submitted articles to magazines, and luckily, I got one. got one article published. So I'm so proud of that. Quite an achievement, and that was worth 1,100 pesos. I don't know how or how much was that. How much is that in dollars? Because I have to calculate again, which is quite a hassle. But again, $1 is equals to 50 pesos. That's an average. 50 pesos here in the Philippines. And so I got one article published and continued to submit. Unfortunately, other ones got rejected, so kind of lost my drive for it. So as I went on with my ventures, I was able to find a job, luckily, and it's kind of a social media thing. Okay. And it's teaching me a new skill, by the way. It's teaching me a new skill. It's allowing me to be creative, because I would discover many things and encode it down, and I would suggest it to my boss. I would suggest it. So I'm loving it. I'm loving it right now. I'm working as a web developer. WordPress. Yeah, WordPress. I would type in the data based on Gary Vee. If you don't know who Gary Vee is, there are two Gary Vees that I know. Number one is a celebrity in the Philippines, so he's a singer. That's Gary Valenciano. Okay, so not that one, but it's this Gary Vaynerchuk. It's really interesting because before I discovered this guy, I was reading already. I was already consuming content from a few from a few, what do I call this, speakers. Okay, from a few speakers, entrepreneurs. Would The most ones are Dan Lok and Vishen Lakiani from Mind Valley. Dan Lok, that was for high ticket closer thing. I would consume a lot of content from them and I would get a lot of value. So that's changing my life. And that's where I get to where I am today. So, super amazing. So it's yeah, the job right now, although it's not as high as my previous job, I'm 10 times happy and I'm hustling. Like, although I control my time, I'm working 12 hours a day. It's quite an achievement. Yeah, I can imagine that I would hustle on that. How many? 12. So I tried that because I was inspired, and I'm actually doing it. I'm nailing it right now. Okay, so what does this have to do with you? What I want you to look at is, everything has a purpose. Everything has a purpose. So, what happened to me when I was getting a government job and I didn't get accepted is that it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay, something better is for you. Okay, something better is for you. Because I tried very hard. Yet it still didn't work. I mean, those attempts of mine didn't work. So yeah, you are set for something else, something better. And also, I want you to take this time, this coronavirus, this pandemic, as an opportunity. Okay, I know this is negative. Coronavirus is negative. It's taking a lot of lives, and a lot of people are losing jobs right now. As far as I know, estimated people lost their jobs in America. That's in America, not in the Philippines. That's about 22 million, according to Gary. Okay. So I want you to take this as an opportunity to change your mind. Okay, to look at the things in a better perspective, because it's I think that sometimes the mere good. Okay, I would quote this from Mind Valley from Vishen Lakiani. Buddha and the badass. I think that's in his book. In his book, I saw it on his video. So sometimes the mere good is destroyed. I don't get the quote there. I can't memorize. God. Yeah, but I think you know what I mean. So the mere good is destroyed to allow something better to happen. Okay. Yeah. So I think that's it. What else? So, yeah. Real important question for you is, how is it changing your life? Okay. How is it changing your life? How do you look at it in a positive way? Because a lot of people right now, including the people in my community, my parents, my friends, are pivoting their approach. Okay. You can see, as what I can see rather, what I observed from them, they become entrepreneurs. My mother became an entrepreneur not too long ago. She is now preparing food for her co-teachers. She would sell them um, some rice cakes. Um, what else? Embutido. How do we how do we call that? Okay, longaniza sausage. That's sausage. Okay. Also, my other friends, uh, not really close friends, my distant friends. They also sell goods, just for something that they can, uh, you extra money out of their pocket. Okay, something to have in their table. Okay, they're innovative. No. They're innovating. Okay, and changing their approach to survive. So I think that's what you have to do as well, as same as with my scenario. So I changed my approach, changed my perspective, do a different thing, and now is the time, because I want to tell you that in every crisis there's an opportunity. Okay, so I thank you so much for listening. I know it's terrible. I mean, it's terrible. The audio quality is terrible. I don't have a pop filter. I'm using a phone right now. By the way, it's the middle. I'm recording this in the middle of the night. Okay, middle of the night. It's already, what time is it? 11:42 in the evening. Because I think that's the most silent time I could ever have um, to record this. Okay. And yes, I think this is it. Thank you so much again, my dear listeners. And I hope to see you again on the next one. I'll prepare something better for you, another topic. So stay tuned. Stay positive. All right. See ya.